The views and opinions expressed on Deliberately Linked are entirely those of the host, who are completely responsible for all show content. These views and opinions are not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure in any way any kind of condition, or to promote any specific lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or personal practice. Nor is the information presented deemed to be accurate or verifiable.
What is up, Deliberately Linked viewers? Lace them up and lock it in. Because on today's show, Mark and I are going off the cuff. Nothing planned, nothing wrote down. We don't even know. He started coming into my place today talking left and right loud. I said, whoa. Bro, let's save it for the show because I don't want to ruin nothing.
I'll tell you, there is actually a method to the madness, and I'll tell you how this all comes up. So I get asked all the time, you have a podcast? Why?
Ooh.
Like, why?
Why? Okay.
And I'm like, no, that's a great question. Like, some people look at that, maybe you're offended. So I don't know if we've ever shared this on the show. The year before your wedding, like, there was this huge undertaking here on the farm, like this ginormous undertaking.
Yes, there was.
And Josh initially, like we both do, you're like, yeah, I'll just do it all by myself. And so he's telling me all the time, I'm like, what are you doing? Or why are you so tired? And he's telling me all this stuff that's going on. I'm like, well, you're an idiot. Why didn't you call me?
Right.
I'll come over and help you.
For sure.
So we come out to the farm, and you got to remember, the old man, he's a bit of a collector of many things, including weeds and large areas of grass that need cut for years.
Yeah.
But we took on this,
anything he thinks he can find money in.
Yeah,
he's
and we took this undertaking, and literally we spent like a year.
Yeah. For
just
sure.
revamping the whole farm.
Clearing bush, like weeds.
Thousands of pounds of equipment.
Yeah,
and
thousands.
Literally, 100-year-old, I don't know, what are those things they use in the church? The organs, and everything from library books to organs to old-fashioned refrigerators is here.
Yeah, pick definitely 2 full bins of like commercial, like residential, whatever, probably commercial, I guess, construction trash bins. You know what I'm talking about, those big ones? 2 of those. But we never got the approval to bring them on the farm, so we did it with trash cans.
There were rules and regulations, which, with that all being said, it brought on a lot of conversation. So, for hours, we would just have these random conversations with a lot of physical work.
Tons, yeah.
And it just got to the point where, like, you know what? And it's not that we said it from an egotistical place or, from like a place of wisdom. We're like, man, we're having these conversations. It'd be great to have these on tape.
Right.
Because some of it's like straight humor. And then some of it's like, whoa, it's like we just discovered something.
Yeah.
It's like, why not share that?
Because you and I, we're really not that funny, but if it happens, it's totally accidental.
Oh, and there's so many things. Like, we could literally have done YouTube videos on how to start a weed whacker. All kinds of stuff that occurs that we're like, this is actually relatable. Like, people, if you can, A, bring a little bit of joy to someone's life, B, I always think of Jimmy Valvano and his great speech that he always said. He's like, every day you should laugh, every day you should cry, all those things. And that's literally what it was.
For sure.
And you're just doing it, like, running on the farm, working.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, we could share that because, and within some of that, there is a little bit of wisdom and life experience that other people can share.
There was a ton of value that was shared during that summer and that winter, mostly. Especially
some very cold days.
And that's truly what sparked up so many of those conversations of like, man, we should just be recording this, because that was like such a early stage, I think, progressing into Ashley and I's marriage and a little post-marriage, and it was just a lot of question and relationship advice, and me being able to come to someone like you, I was like, man, this is some valuable stuff that, like, man, this would be great.
Well,
to
and
be
a ton
able
of
to
my
share.
stories started with, okay, this is where I messed up, so don't do that.
Exactly, yeah.
It's like, okay, try to steer around that angle. But there's just all kinds of great things. I live in the phase, and Josh has heard this 1,000 times. Every day you're making memories.
Right.
Some memories are like super sentimental. Some memories are just like, man, we're lucky to be alive.
No doubt.
And we've had many of those here. It's like trying to warm up a diesel tractor with a torpedo heater while pouring diesel into the tractor.
That was not very
No
smart.
one does that.
That wasn't smart.
But we did.
We did.
Yeah.
It worked.
And then Josh gets super mad, and somehow it's the old man's fault, even though he's the one that was telling us don't do that. But it's just all kinds of good stuff. So it's like today's show. It's kind of like I want to engulf that. Yeah. I want to have a normal conversation, not just with Josh, but with the listener.
Yeah, off the cuff, baby.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And it's off the cuff. And some of that is venting. And recently I've been very upset. I've been listening to Josh brag to me how comfortable these pants are. It's been a while.
Are we going to give them brand recognition?
I will.
Okay, that's
But
fair.
It's been a while. I have to because
Okay.
they need to fix this.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay,
They probably listen to our show.
and they need to fix this.
Yeah.
Alphalete, you have a very fantastic product. Okay, they look super comfy. They look like us. And if you could see me, I'd be doing like full-on yoga stretches, and the pants stay in their place. And I like that.
He's referring to joggers, guys.
Yes.
They're basically male leggings, but to a lesser degree. They're fitted. They're comfy. That you can move in them. They show your.
They're not skin tight.
They're aesthetic. They're the farthest thing from skin tight, but they're not like baggy pants.
Correct. So I want a pair. Why in the world, when I get onto your website, is it not just like a search? It's like I click in Alphalete, I go to alphalete.com, and I can't shop. I've got to do like this whole put in your email here, and then we'll send you
Oh, wait a
this
second.
password
No,
to get in there.
I know what happened to you, bro. I'm so glad you brought this up.
Well, I'm irritated. I've been trying for a week.
For a week. So, okay, you probably haven't tried since Saturday, have you?
No.
Okay. So
Because I quit. I'm like, why do I need a password
It
to
pissed me-
shop on your website?
it pissed me off too, but this is the power of social media. So I was able to go directly to a source and figure out what was going on because I did the same thing because I've been telling Ashley, I was like, oh my, I have 2 pairs. I was like, I love these. These are like the only
Yeah.
joggers I want to wear now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, she's like, just grab another pair or 2. I'm like, okay, dope. I'm glad I got your permission. So I go hop on the website. Same thing happened. I'm like, what do you mean I have to type in my email so you can let me know when I can come purchase these?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of, like, service is this? Like, if I want something, I want it easy. I'm with you, bro. So the same thing happened to me, but me being obviously in the social media world, I was, okay, I'm going to go directly to the source. Alphalete obviously has an Instagram. So I'm like, what is going on here? So it had something to do like a birthday bash on their thing that you
Yeah.
were doing. I was like, okay, something's up. So I go to their IG, I go to their store or their page, and long story short, they were launching new products. And so supposedly, I haven't really figured out why they shut their site down. So people couldn't get on because they were hyping up this like birthday sale that they were having that Saturday, and it was like at 11 o'clock.
So why don't you put on there, hey, sorry for the inconvenience. Our site's temporarily down because we're going to have a great launch this Saturday, X, Y, and Z. No, I got in there like every day for 4 days. I'm like, what is going on here?
So it was going on that long because I think I checked either that Thursday or Friday, and I found out the sale was launching Saturday. So I was like, okay, maybe they're doing this for like a day or 2 leading up to it. Maybe that's reasonable. Like, make me wait, make me see
No,
what's new.
it was long.
Like a week long, bro. I would be like, bro, I'm going to Gymshark. That's
what
the
I'm
competitor.
saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm sitting here doing this. I'm like, okay, I want these. It's basically all Josh wears anymore when he doesn't have to go to a meeting. And I'm like,
Seriously.
Josh and I kind of live the same lifestyle. We like to work out. We were
Right.
very active. I'm like, I want to try these. And I even asked him, I was like, do they have tall sizes?
Yeah.
I mean, that's for joggers for me, that's the greatest challenge because I'm 6'2".
Yeah.
It's like I wear a jogger on everybody else and it looks like a high water. You know what I mean? It's like, so I need like a, and then if you
Yeah.
go to like XXL, then they're just wide. I don't want that.
No, yeah, no one wants that. That's
So I'm like-
interesting. Yeah, so, bro, I promise you hop on now, and you just missed some awesome deals. I actually got 2 new pairs, so you're going to be a
Ticks
little
me off.
jelly.
See, so Alphalete, you're listening to this. Understand this.
Yeah.
I get it. You guys are new and mainstream. I'm
Right.
old, and I want your product.
Right.
You got to service everybody.
Yeah, I definitely, if we ever, with Envisionary Meals, do something similar to that, if we do shut our site down, which, again, to me, it just almost seems suicidal. If we do, I'm
Why-
going to make it more clear to
Why
the
wouldn't
viewer.
you put it on there? And like, let's say I click on a pair of black ones, and let's say it's $40, whatever. I'm throwing this out there. But then when you like go to click on it, it says, but if you wait until X, Y, and Z for birthday bash, you get this X amount down cheaper.
Right.
Then I'll delay it.
Right.
It's like there's just no information.
Well, and you said it, for different generations, and people come from a different understanding.
Alphalete, I do not have an Instagram
Like,
account.
if I didn't just share this information with you, you might be not ever going back there.
I wouldn't.
You might entertain it now that you know, okay, there was something up. But to me, I'm like, you got to make that stuff more clear. And another thing that I was even disappointed on this topic, I was viewing it from my phone, and there was like graphics in the background of the writing, and you could like hardly read it. I had to like move it in like different angles and like put the writing in front of like dark images on the back of the screen because I couldn't read it. I'm like, I'm 25 years old. I'm as techie as it gets for nowadays generation. And like,
Yeah.
I'm struggling to understand. I'm like, this is honestly unacceptable for a company to your standard and your prestige to have an air like this. Come
Yeah.
on, people. So I'm with you, bro.
Yeah, so tick me off. So
Yeah.
just for those, I don't think you can see us. I know we haven't been on YouTube in a while, which is fine. I mean, I don't know if people like watching us. I don't know why you would.
We're still getting views on YouTube, which is kind of cool. So I guess our voices are enough, but I don't know. I struggle.
That's
I
funny.
debate that.
So you can't see us right now. Josh is looking kind of bronzy, and I only bring that up because there's some reasons behind it. But I bring that up because this is something I totally would make fun of him for
Oh,
in a
totally.
loving way.
For sure.
Because I'm jealous because it's the middle of freaking gray here in Ohio, and I'm like, man, I wish I was being
Yeah.
bronzy. Great story. So, okay, everybody on here knows, and the ears are going to perk up. So I'm a stage 4 melanoma guy, right?
Yeah.
Which is skin cancer.
Right.
It's the deadliest form of skin cancer. Someone dies from it every 57 minutes. There you go.
Damn.
Everybody talks about tanning beds, tanning beds, tanning beds. And we've had this conversation when Josh and Ashley,
Yeah.
I'll tell you, this is funny. So Josh and Ashley, they want to start tanning because, you got the big Arnold coming up. So it's like,
We gotta look good. You feel me?
yeah, but it's like a sense of fear, like, we need to talk to Mark about this.
We do. It's
Because, like, I don't want to make him mad.
Mark will know if this is okay.
So they're both sitting there looking at me like these two little kids are like, hey, we want to get like, what do you think about that? Okay, so I'm just going to throw this out there. There's a ton of no, let me rephrase that. There's a ton of information out there that's totally against tanning and tanning beds.
Right.
Right? Tons. Okay. There's actually information out there too, though, that says it's not the tanning beds.
It's not the tanning bed. Right. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what you told us.
And I only bring that up because I literally, this is off the cuff. I look over and I'm like, hey, Josh's base tan's looking pretty
and
good.
I'm also rocking a white shirt, so it's
Yeah, it's just
definitely
looking pretty
emphasizing-
good, though.
Yeah,
I can
thanks,
see
bro.
it,
I'm
you know? It's looking nice.
Yeah, base is coming in nice.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Don't do like Josh did the first time. He came back looking like a candy cane because
I peeled for 3 weeks straight, boy.
and it's itchy. But
Yeah.
I just want people to understand it's like anything. It's like anything. Too much of something is bad.
Yeah.
So
no
I don't
doubt.
care if it's too much of laying out in natural sunlight or if it's too much of jumping into a tanning bed. It's
Yeah.
bad. There's nothing wrong with going into a tanning bed, and even to the credit of a Dr. Oz who did a study on this and published something on it.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, Dr. Oz. I mean, everybody knows who Dr. Oz is. He's got
Yeah.
his own show. He went out there and put some science behind his opinion, and he even says, if done within small, minimal amounts, it's
Yeah.
not hurting you. It's not harming you. Now, here's what I will tell you. Every person in the world has a genetic makeup, and your genetic makeup is flawed. If you're going to get skin cancer, you're going to get skin cancer.
For sure.
Regardless.
Yeah.
It's whether or not you've exposed yourself to the
Too
certain things
much.
that trigger it.
Correct.
So it's
right.
like you say me, like, Mark, how did you get yours? Because I'm not the typical redhead, fair scared type of person.
Right.
I naturally have darker skin.
Yep.
I tan. You've seen it. I tan very
Oh,
quickly
yeah.
and hold my tan very long. I was a firefighter. I
Right.
mean, I was absorbing lots and lots of chemicals
Toxins.
and carcinogens I shouldn't have done.
Yeah.
But that was me. And a lot of firemen are affected that way because that's our skin absorption rates go up so high
Yeah.
when
You
we're
hear-
doing our
you
jobs.
hear that, BWC?
Yeah, they don't. I'm sure they don't listen to this. They should. I can educate them on a lot of things. How not to be cheap and fight people. But
Come on, let them know.
I'm just saying, people, here's where I encourage you to do this. Do it responsibly.
Right.
Like Josh and Ashley, they maybe go once or twice a week.
That's it.
Take in a little time. You're getting some vitamin D out of it, which, by
Needed
the
though.
way,
Hey, real talk though. Needed the vitamin D, hence our seasonal depression podcast. But also, I needed it for just pure sanity, bro. Like, complete vein aside. This past summer, because it was like the birth of Visionary Meals, and it was like our first full year of business. I didn't go to the pool once. I didn't step out. I barely stepped outside. I mean, if I was,
Yeah.
it's because I'm walking to and from a meeting, to and from the car, location, et cetera, et cetera. So, like, I'm looking pasty, and I'm a tan dude. Like, I get tan from like 3 years ago, and I'll still hold it. But like,
Yeah.
dude, I mean, this tan was fading. Like, I was looking pasty. So, I mean, I'm like not confident in bed. My wife's looking at me. She's like, man, you're just not the same. You don't look like you used to, this and that. I'm like, I'm
These
not
are
getting,
true.
I'm not
This
getting
is
her
real.
off to the degree. She's like, I kind of married you for your like beautiful olivey skin, and it's just not there. So, I mean, it was a problem, and it needed some fix. But honestly, the pure like motivation behind it is we have the Arnold Classic coming. Ash and I are obviously the face of this company. Not that we need to be tan, but hey, look good, play good. You feel me?
Well, no, I mean, you're also walking into an environment. that is the environment.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, everyone.
that's the environment. And people could say, well, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But I'll be the first one to tell you too. There's also a lot of studies out there that you can take supplemental vitamin D, obviously, orally from buying something over the counter.
Right.
It doesn't affect you the same way as the
No.
UV rays.
No, bro.
I mean, just in 2 weeks, you can honestly see. I don't want to call it a personality change,
Right.
but you can see a change in Josh and Ashley just because they're now absorbing something that they've been missing.
Honestly, yeah.
You're a little bit happier, a little more joyful. You got a little more energy.
For sure.
That's real.
Makes a difference.
That's absolutely real. But that's why I just want to tell people that does come with caution. Don't abuse it. And I'll be the first one to tell you, don't put anything on when you get in there.
Correct.
No lotions,
Nothing.
nothing. That's where you're going to introduce chemicals into the absorption. And this is the same stuff. This is a conversation we'd have on the farm. They would ask, and I would say X, Y, and Z. Yeah, go ahead. Try to steer away from this.
Yeah.
Because when you introduce those chemicals and your body absorbs those, that's where you start bringing in that introduction of synthetic forms that have played detriment to your body.
Well, yeah, because your skin is warming up, your pores are opening, and
Yeah.
all those chemicals are seeping through.
Yeah, so it's a big deal. I mean, don't go in for the bronzing thing and think that you want to walk around. No, but I mean, he's got a very nice looking,
Yeah, it's getting
healthy skin, healthy
Thanks,
tan.
brother. I appreciate
It's
that.
good looking.
Feels good. It
Yeah.
feels good. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna get there faster than me because you got a pool. So, I'm
You
just gonna
have
to-
you got a pool before I got a pool.
I mean, we'll call that a pool. You're right. It's a pool. It
is a pool.
It was $500 pool, but no,
Yeah.
it's a pool.
I spent a little more than 500.
Yeah, just a hair, and that just shows you how not active my last summer was because that pool did not make it up. So, but I told myself, I told my wife, because our pool didn't make it up. The patio furniture on our porch didn't make it out. I'm like, that is changing this summer because I thoroughly missed it, and I regret not making sure I made myself and my wife the time to enjoy those two things.
Well, I think everything is with a purpose.
Yeah.
Even the little things like hobbies are with a purpose.
Yeah.
I mean, like we're getting ready to go through, and I haven't told you this yet. My wife is getting a new job.
Okay.
Yeah. See, this is all new. This is
Wow. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
new job. It is going to be
Is it where like we thought it might happen?
yeah, and I'll say it.
Okay.
It's going to be drastically different, like for everybody.
No doubt. This is how long has it been?
Since never.
Never.
Since Heather and I have been together a long time, she's never worked an everyday job.
Oh wow. 'Cause
Completely different.
Yeah, because she's always done like the.
She's always in nursing, but it's always been like, 1 or 2 days a week.
Right.
12 hours here, 12 hours
Okay.
there. She averages like 24 to 30 hours a week, but it's
Yeah.
always in 12-hour shifts. So it's like 1 or 2 days a week. So we always have a lot of free time together.
Right.
And I came from the fire service where I worked every third day.
Okay.
So we always had like a vacation.
Days together.
Yeah, constantly.
Yeah.
That's over.
Oh no.
That's over. So she's literally Monday through Thursday every week, and
You
then
thought
every
your-
other Friday, every other Saturday.
You thought your sex life was average now, boy. Just
See?
wait.
So it's like, I mean, and there's reasons behind it. I mean, my wife is small. I mean, she'll say she's 5'4". I don't think she is. She's probably 5'2". She weighs like 100 pounds, and her back is just taking a beating.
Yeah.
And so she's going to go work for a very dear friend of ours. His name's Jonah State, and he owns Old School Dental.
Shout it out.
If you're looking for a dentist, I'm here to tell you, for a guy who hated going to the dentist, the best dentist I've ever been around.
No
Period.
doubt. Yeah, he's an amazing guy.
And his dentistry is his ministry. I mean, and he won't be mad at me for saying this. So last year, his first year in full business under his own own company,
Yeah.
he gave away $600,000
amazing.
in free dental care.
That's amazing.
600 G's in free dental care.
Boy, that's someone working for God's will. Man.
Yeah, and it became his ministry. So for Heather, my wife is an RN, and this has all been going on. And the whole time she's in RN school, she's like, I should have just gone like to dental school so I could go work for Jonah. This is like a true story.
Really?
And I was like, do whatever you want. I mean, that's if that's what you want to do. If you want to get this RN and then go back to school, we'll figure it out. So I meet with Jonah about once a month, and we have breakfast and just talk life. And he's like, I'd love to have Heather come on. I'm like, yeah, but she's a nurse. He's like, I need a nurse.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. He's like, I need a nurse. He's like, because I want to start doing implants. He's like, and you need a nurse, a registered nurse for that. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I told Heather, and Heather got stoked. So Sunday we met up with Jonah and his wife and talked some details and whatnot. And she's not starting full time until like April 1st. But between now and then, she's going to do a couple days a week in there.
Okay.
Just training,
Yeah.
learning, because ultimately he wants her to kind of become a manager of the area.
Okay.
Do the ordering,
Yeah.
making sure everything's
She'll
there,
be great at that.
running
She's
the people.
so attention to detail.
Yes. So
Yeah.
it's going to be. I told Jonah. I said it's crazy, and you watch God work because it's something that she desperately wanted, and it's something he desperately wanted. So
Okay.
it's a go on both
For
sides
sure.
because he needs the break because right now he's doing everything like yourself,
Right. Yeah.
and it's
He's getting to that
it's
point.
struggling. You know, you got a wife and 2 daughters,
Mm-hmm.
and then here she is, who she's like, I want to be working every day,
Yeah.
and I want to be serving a higher purpose.
What more could you ask for?
And she's very good at it. So now we've got balance on both
I love
sides, and
it.
everybody reaps the rewards from it. So it's super exciting. It's going to be a direct change.
Yeah.
I think Hallie was like, "What do you mean you're going to work every day?"
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's
Well,
gonna be
and-
adjustment for Hallie, no doubt.
Huge. She's
Especially
never
in the summer.
She's never. Yeah.
Boy, that's gonna suck. I
Yeah.
mean, luckily you're not really working anymore, so
Yeah.
she'll at least have presence of you guys. Man, that's crazy though.
It's so it'll be
And
nutty.
that's gonna be rough for Hallie. First year with the pool and like,
Well, luckily we live like literally 10 minutes from the office.
okay, and she'll
You
get
know what I
off
mean?
at like a reasonable time, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, the way the schedule works out, she still has plenty of
Yeah.
time. It's summertime. I mean, most days she's off by 4 p.m.
This was not a paid advertisement, by the way, guys. Definitely
No.
shouting out Old School Dental, fantastic place. But Mark, so you brought up the word purpose, and again, this was completely unplanned, and this phone call literally happened last night, and so I just thought, I was
Which
like,
we'd have already had this conversation before we recorded.
we would have.
normally.
I would
Yeah.
have told him, as soon as he walked in the door, bro, you will not believe the phone call I just got. So I just got offered a position. It's a head coaching position. Okay. Pretty crazy, right? What sport do you think I'm referring to? I mean, come on.
I would say football. I
okay.
would guess football.
Right. Okay. That would be a great guess. Okay. I just got offered the head coaching position for Granville High School for lacrosse.
What?
Exactly. That's what I said. I go, what? I
How did
played
your name even
football.
come up?
Exactly. So, this individual reached out and he said, "Hey, I got
Now, granted, I'm just going to say this. It'd be the best in-shape lacrosse team ever.
Oh yeah, I know nothing about lacrosse, but we would beat some faces, bro.
But as far as throw the ball and get it in the net,
seriously,
we got that covered.
if I accepted, the first thing I was gonna Google is like, how much can you hit someone with your stick? Because
Yeah.
like I'm trying to be violent in this team. You feel me? But no, he said, I got a question for you, and this is like, it sounds like I'm asking this from Mars.
This is the AD.
No, this
Okay.
is. I'm not gonna say his name. I'll tell you
No,
after
it's
the
fine,
show.
yeah.
It doesn't really matter. But he's like, yeah, I'm gonna ask this question. It sounds like it's coming from Mars. I'm like, okay, yeah, shoot, what's up? He's like, so the head coach for lacrosse just quit his job out of nowhere, and we are in a scramble. He's like, I know you played football, but you were like a good athlete, and you know sports, you train athletes. What do you think? And he, God bless him. I love the guy. He's a great guy, huge heart.
I know
But
exactly who it
You
is
know
now.
exactly what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. And he did make the mistake of saying, he's like, I know Visionary Meals is doing great, and with your job it probably allows a lot of free time, and I just I just thought this might be an opportunity for you. And it took everything in me and to bite my tongue to do what you just do and laugh
are
at
you
the free
crazy?
time. And I obviously I was very humbled and just appreciative of just someone even thinking of me to coach a sport that I've never even played before. I literally think I got a lacrosse stick when I was in middle school and couldn't even learn how to cradle. So that didn't last. But, I told him respectively. I was just like, listen, I appreciate the opportunity, but my plate is the farthest thing from being open right now. And I said, maybe 2, 3, 4 years down the road, this might be something I would entertain. Just be like, hey, why not?
A position coach on a football team right now would be a struggle.
It's unrealistic. It
Yeah.
is. It's unrealistic. And so, but
I'm
I was
honestly
just like,
surprised by this entire thing because I could honestly hear Josh be like, "Yeah, Mark and I could do this," and then he would call me like, "Hey, we got practice tomorrow." And
Yeah,
I'd be like,
right.
You're freaking insane.
I would be like, this is a package deal. If
Yeah.
I come, Mark comes. But yeah, he was like, yeah,
they would be motivated.
He's
I
like,
guarantee they'd
oh,
be motivated.
Yeah, this would be the most locked in lacrosse team in the state. Let alone, like, they might not know how.
I would
to
almost only
shoot.
want to do it because you'd go into it and literally the parent coach meeting be like, look, we literally know nothing. We literally know nothing.
Yeah.
Your kids are going to be in great shape. They're going to be unbelievably focused and motivated.
Oh, for sure.
Let's see where this train goes.
Low key, it would be kind of fun. It really
it would be.
be.
Because I would literally then sit down with the athletes and say, look, we're going to be the first to tell you, you guys know way more about this. So we're going to lean on you for that. Okay.
Do you want to do it with me?
No,
I can
God,
call
no.
him back. I don't think it's
No.
too late.
No, because I know who it is, and
Yeah.
instantly he'd probably start regretting it. He'd be like, maybe I shouldn't have done
Right.
this.
So, dude, yeah, I
No,
couldn't
because
believe
I know
it.
how it happened too. Because then Josh would be like, "Hey, yeah, we're in," and then it'd be Mark alone at practice a lot.
That's true. That's why I said, do you want to do this? Because I'd be like, yo, Mark, I'm running about
And
an
then,
hour and a half late.
My next call would be the old man. Hey,
Oh, yeah.
Terry, I know
Can
you
you
don't know
imagine?
anything about lacrosse, but I really need you right,
Right. Can you imagine the old man
now.
out
Terry
there?
would be like, "What drill you want me to do?"
Yeah. We go hit the dummy over here.
Yeah, they'd all be over there doing. They'd be over there doing board drills. It's for a lacrosse team.
Oh, but yeah, bro, that's the most recent promotion in Josh's life.
This is a great lesson and stay in your wheelhouse.
It is, and that's when you said purpose, and I was just like, man, that triggered that phone call that happened last night because that is not God's purpose for me right now.
I mean, I'm not going to knock the coach at all because, I mean, circumstances depict what decisions you got to
Yeah.
make. I hope you have a really, really good decision because I'm not even thinking about putting the school in the pickle. I'm thinking about all those kids.
right? Oh,
I mean,
for sure.
lacrosse season's literally like 3 weeks away.
I know it's crazy.
And now all these kids are like, we don't have a coach.
Can you
And
imagine?
honestly, for the historically speaking, Granville's had a very good lacrosse program.
Yeah, they really have. Oh, very
A
good.
very good lacrosse program.
That's why
So
I mean it would be kind of epic. We just walk in. I mean, shoot, we take them to state.
that'd be hilarious. But I'd literally be screaming. It's like when I go to Cohen's wrestling stuff because I
Yeah.
know nothing about wrestling.
Seriously, I'm
Get him
with
to
you.
the ground. People
Right.
are like, walk the head, walk the head. I'm like, what is walk the
what?
head?
Yeah, like Sugarfoot.
I don't know any of this stuff.
No, I'm with you.
That's how
I
I'd be
would
coaching the cross. Throw the ball to the other guy.
Yeah, I would literally have to like Google lacrosse because I know nothing about it. Like literally nothing. I don't know position, offense, defense. I mean, midi forward. I don't know if it's similar to soccer, which I think it is. I don't know if it's more similar to
Can't
soccer than
cross certain
hockey.
lines.
Dude, I don't know, but it would have been interesting. I think we would have gained a lot of viewers just because they would have want to stay up to date with us on the lacrosse season. So maybe it's a huge mistake on my end. I'm not accepting that.
No, it's not. Because
Oh,
if you'd have told
man.
me you'd have done it, I'd have been like, you're insane.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know. Visionary Meals right now is people. I'll tell you, entrepreneurs. This is a really good lesson. This is exactly what I told Josh. Sometimes you get on a roll and then you think you can handle more.
Right.
Sometimes contain the roll and prepare for more.
For sure.
Because it's going to happen.
No doubt. I mean, that's the same phone call I received the other day when you were in here about a train facility, and still haven't heard anything on that. That was really awkward. But yeah,
Well, that's
I mean,
not
just,
even the first time. I mean, there was another guy who wanted you to take over a gym.
yeah.
And this was a few months ago. And it's
Right.
like, yeah, these are all things that down the road, totally interested.
Yeah.
It's like even me. I'm like, right now, it's like my plate is full just trying to
Right.
be help. I got 3 high schoolers and you're trying to stay involved in all of them. And
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
it's incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
And it's like just to take on more stuff. I mean, then the more you take on, the less efficient you can be. And then obviously your whatever product you're producing just sucks.
Right. No,
Because
for
it's not
sure.
good.
Yeah. No, I mean, it would have been suicidal.
It'd have been hilarious,
It's
but
definitely
it'd have been
enticing because
suicidal.
it is kind of funny, and I don't know. I'm confident in my craft. I guess I'd figure.
Well,
it
no,
out.
I know what we do. We'd literally spend a week plugged to our computers
Yeah.
learning this sport we know nothing about.
That's the only thing that entices me. It's like I love challenges. I love competition. I love challenges, and it would be such a challenge. Because
Yeah.
football, I get offered a football position. Yeah, like I mean this in a humble way. Yeah, I can walk in there and coach a football team.
Yeah,
I
we've done it.
I
Yeah, but
bring
we've
the-
done it for so long.
Yeah, we bring the fire,
Yeah.
but like a lacrosse team, I'm like, oh, this would be extreme, adversity.
Yeah.
and it might be kind of fun.
that is hilarious.
So funny, right?
That
I
is
couldn't,
hilarious.
I couldn't believe it. I was almost like, I don't know. I was very appreciative that this individual thought of me. So shout out to you if you listen to our show. But thanks, but no thanks, I guess.
So you'll like. I don't know if you like this or not.
Oh God.
So Josh has gotten me into this world of podcasts, and there's like probably 4 podcasts that I listen to.
Yeah.
And so I was lifting the other day and I had one of my podcasts going on. And this is the thought that came into my mind. Podcasts are fake. I'm like, we're part of fake.
What do you mean?
Because what it does is, do you listen to a podcast that you don't like? No. You go pick
Okay,
podcasts that you like. It's like what you want to hear.
What you want?
And I was like, are we that people?
That's a good point, actually. I don't know if it's a negative though.
I know, but I was like, are we that people? I'm like, so literally, I'm in the middle of a lift. I'm lifting. And I continue to listen to this podcast because I like this podcast. But then I'm like, okay. So, and I think about the things about podcasts, even though we run a podcast, there's things that I just don't like about podcasts.
Yeah.
I know here's one of the feelings I hate, and I'll just be vulnerable with everybody on this. I hate the feeling that I have to come up with something and almost censor my relevancy to make it relevant to everybody else.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so I hate that feeling.
You mean just having to be more relatable to
No,
everyone?
things that I find relevant to me, I almost feel as the minute that it comes to me, and I know you may have this feeling too, where Josh and I will struggle. It's not that we don't have talking points. It's not that we don't have topics.
No.
Once they enter into us, we instantly think of the masses and how
do you
does
cater to
yeah, and I hate that.
And that's the struggle about this show, because we know this because we have individuals email, call, message us, and we know our market is not just entrepreneurs. Our market is not just gym people. Our market is not just athletes. It's everything. It's your divorced parents. It's your parents. It's your single parents. It's your athletes. It's your entrepreneurs. It's your et cetera, et cetera. And that's the thing. It's guys trying to talk to everyone. It is a challenge. I know.
Yeah,
I
at the
know
same
exactly
time,
what you're
because there's
saying.
certain shows that come up where Josh and I, we love that show, but almost like we're only talking to 25% of our demographic who listen.
Well, and on this topic, Mark, we've talked about this, wanting to be fully authentic, and that's a challenge of not being able to be fully authentic, because obviously we want to represent Christ in everything we do, and although you and I fail at our flesh on a daily basis,
Yes.
there's things that I would love to say on this show where I'm just like, you know what? I'm so glad my grandma listens to this show, because it holds me accountable to not say what I want to say.
Here's a great story that's happened this week, and I'll tell you why. So it's like you're, like I said, it's almost like we got to harness ourselves at times. That's something I hate about it. But because I'm fully aware how sensitive people are.
Right.
Like my son was at work this week. Young man, my son is 16 years old. A younger kid walked by, and this is exactly my son. You hear him saying it. Hey, little buddy. That's exactly what he said.
He would say, yeah.
Hey, little buddy, how are you? The kid filed a complaint because he was completely offended by being called little.
You're joking. Was he younger than Blake?
Yes.
Then you're a little buddy.
So Blake sends me this thing, and it's not like he got ripped for it, but the guy's like, look, man, we can't have any negative coming in. And Blake's like, I don't recall. He goes like, if I did, I apologize, I guess. He's like, but some Blake come home, we're sitting there having dinner as we always do. And Blake's like, Dad, he goes, I remember it now. It's like, hey, little buddy. And like the kid went and basically complained to his parents. They were offended because he called him little, and they called in and called him a complaint.
You're kidding me.
And I'm like, this is the whole reason why sometimes when we're on this show, it's like you almost balance this act, because something that innocent is portrayed that way.
That's ridiculous.
Dude, I call people little buddy all the time. So when Blake said it, I know he hears it from me.
Right.
Dude, Kennedy weighs, what, 3 bills?
Yeah, right.
He's an assistant O-line coach at Ohio State, which, by the way, he just got the GA position.
Yep,
so
shout
proud
him
of you,
out,
Kennedy.
boy.
But I'm like, yeah, he's going to take some basket weaving just so because GA. But, but I'm like, dude, I call him little buddy.
Right. And he ain't little.
I'm like, are you kidding me?
Right.
So then when I think about these podcasts, I'm like, are we seeking out podcasts that we just like enjoy to hear what it is that we want to hear? So then it almost puts us in that fake lifestyle of,
I feel you.
I'm not being convicted.
Okay.
Or I'm not hearing things I don't want to hear because we're so sensitive.
Right.
And I was like, I hate that.
Well, I think that's, I mean, not to toot our own horn, but we talk about events that happen in our everyday lives and how we should live. Now, our delivery, we might sugarcoat our delivery at times, because I know we have parents that drive in the car with their kids.
Well, I think that's just being polite.
Man, I think that's an interesting topic, honestly, Mark, and this is probably could be a podcast topic within itself. But I think about all the podcasts that I listen to. But it's interesting. So I listened to, and I'll say his name, Stephen Furtick. He's a pastor. So it's literally just his sermons. I listen to him not because I like what I hear, but because I need to hear what I hear. I listen to our good friend Corey's podcast, and that's a different story though. I listen to that podcast, and I think I like it because I can relate, but at the same time I like it because they'll tell you how it is. So that's
the thing. So I listen to Steve Furtick. I also listen to Business and Biceps.
Yeah.
It's like you do. It's Corey and John Fosco.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, if you're listening to this and you're going to go look that up, do not do that with your kids around. That is very adult only. And I don't mean that. I don't mean that in a judgmental way. I just mean those guys say it the way they say it, and they're not filtering it for anybody.
Right.
And so I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Not everybody's going to be fine with that. That's not a podcast with your kids in the car.
No.
But I also listen to like Dan Bongino, who's a conservative podcaster. And I listen to a few other ones, but I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I'm like, are we becoming this podcast where people only come to us because we say what they like to hear? I don't want that for people.
That's interesting.
I don't want that for people. Like I'm obviously I get it. I just don't know. I mean, I'm not a social media guy. I'm not a big podcaster guy as far as I run a podcast, and I don't even think that our relevancy in podcasting is like this trend-setting thing. But what I like to think is I could sit and listen to a podcast, not agree with everything, be convicted, and be willing to make changes. I hope that that's who we are.
I think we try to be, but yeah, I think we probably fail at it. And then I'm sure we have a crowd that comes to us because they're like, "Ooh, I needed to hear that," and I'm sure we have a crowd that comes to us and like, "That makes me feel good because that's what I do."
Okay.
And I don't know, Mark. I think it's a very contradicting topic because it's going to depend on the person, truly. And since we have such a wide market, to me that tells me since we have such a wide market, we definitely have viewers that might not like what we have
Which
to
is
say.
a conversation that's funny because Ashley told us we would never succeed with a wide market.
She did, yeah.
So Ashley, as you're listening
Ashley
to
and
this,
Heather, they were questioning both.
they both were like, "This doesn't make any sense that you
Yeah.
guys are going to throw that wide of a net."
And we do.
Yeah,
And I'm cool with it.
I'm absolutely fine with it.
Yeah.
I think the listeners.
I think we lose some listeners because we don't cater too heavy towards each individual market, but I think overall we have such a diverse market. I would prefer that than just one specific market.
My whole thing with this is this is where I am. I hope people come to listen and do not pick on. They don't pick on a topic they want to hear. I hope they're like, no, I listen to this because whatever it is that they're going to say, I'll
Yeah.
get something out
For
of
sure.
it.
I hope so too. Yeah.
They don't just look through the titles and be like, oh, that seems nice or that seems nice.
Right.
Because, I mean, I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want that listener. I want the
Yeah.
listener who's going to come and say,
What
I know it doesn't all directly apply, but I'm going to get something.
What can I find? What can I benefit from
Yeah,
this?
it's kind of the way I view going to church.
Okay.
Like I go to church not because I believe in religion. I don't believe in religion, but I go to church because I'm a man of faith and I believe in God. And even if our pastor, who's amazing, is not preaching something that directly influences me or affects me or actually applies to me at that exact moment, I know I'm still going to gain something from it.
Yeah.
So I'm a loyalist when it is to going to church.
Well, I'm with you on that, Mark. And the one thing that I don't like about podcasts in general, and actually podcasts from podcasters, is the lack of authenticity when you listen to other podcasts, in the sense that I catch myself being very, very careful about this, not stealing what another podcaster has said.
Oh, for
You know
sure.
what I mean?
For
And
sure.
I think that's hard. And I was actually just talking to an individual I respect highly. He runs his own podcast. He's a pretty big, fitness trainer in the Columbus area. And I said, yeah, we were talking about a specific topic. And I was like, yeah, it's funny. We actually, Mark and I, my business partner on the podcast, we just did an episode on that. And he's like, oh yeah. And I was like, yeah, I'll shoot it your way. Take a listen. He's like, I don't listen to other podcasts. I was like, oh, really?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I don't want it to influence what I say. And I was like, I like that. I respect that. But to a degree, there's so much self-developing that you can learn from other podcasters. And it's just like, to me, it's just like reading a book. You read a book and you take something from a book. It's the same thing. And I'm definitely not going to sit here and say, man, I've already got all the knowledge to not indulge myself in other avenues of learning. So I definitely have areas to take from.
But I will say this, I don't listen to any podcasts that are like ours.
No, I would agree with that. Yeah, I haven't found one like ours. Yeah, you're so right.
I mean, I've shopped podcasts, and I've yet to find one that's just kind of, it's like a buffet.
Yeah, it is.
We cover, we come. Here's the thing, and I know this is something Josh and I talked about a lot coming into it. We came into it saying we are literally, experts of nothing.
Yeah,
we're a
seriously.
jack of all trades,
Right.
And we're going to share it with you. We're going to share it with you in a sense of not coming from a professional, like we're experts in this area. We're going to share it with most people as saying we're failures, and we've had some successes, but we're
Correct.
also failures.
Yeah.
And almost like this may work for you, it may not work for you.
Right.
Most of the podcasts you go to, they're like, all they want to talk about is this is how we made this work.
Correct. Yeah, or what? Yeah, no, you're right. You're so right.
Yeah. I think some podcasts, honestly, I mean, I look at the top 100 podcasts. Some of those are strictly based on popularity. Like
For sure.
you could have started a podcast no matter what, and it was going to take off because you had an amazing following
Dude,
via somewhere else.
That's with so many. Well, speaking of Alpha Elite and other supplement brands, bro, half of these companies are big just because the following that they created before. I was telling Ashley the other day, I was like, anybody and everybody could create an apparel line. It's not hard. It's probably one of the easiest businesses.
And we all use the same materials.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not hard at all. You sample, get some samples, sit in, you have models try them on, you change the way things fit, et cetera, et cetera. You create designs, you put them on the outfits. It's not hard. The individuals that try to do this, that fail at it, it's because they don't have a following prior to this. The individuals that succeed is because they have hundreds of thousands of, if not millions of followers that if they put something out in the market.
Well, in the days of grassroots, they're so minimal anymore.
Yeah.
Like the person that starts something and goes, all the way to the top of it.
It's rare, man.
Because it's timing.
It is.
I think of Corey, and Corey is a very near dear friend of mine. Corey is he is a true definition of a self-made man.
Yeah,
I mean, dude, his timing was perfect, though. There was a need, there was a desire. Not everybody was seeing it. He saw it, he capitalized on it, and then he grinded, truly grinded.
He worked his butt off.
At no point in time did the dude get freebies.
No doubt. Yeah.
But, I mean, it's all about timing. So now it's just like it's so minimal in that because most people come into something with, I've already got 1 million followers on Twitter or Instagram, whatever it is.
Right.
So whatever I launch now is already got a head start.
Yeah. Well, and it's a similar conversation I just had with Ashley. And I hate, part of me hates the world that we live in today of the society that has created with social media. And gosh, darn it, guys, we've talked on this so much, so I'm not going to go into it. But we sat down and we were talking about our own personal content. I've created, Visionary Meals has its own Instagram page that has grown tremendously. The content on there, I stay up to date of engaging and posting, et cetera, and growing that page, and it's done so well. Well, I've taken away from my personal page. And nowadays, especially as an entrepreneur or an individual that owns a business, you usually view that personal page still as a business page. Like that is...
Well, yeah, because you're going to be judged by it.
You're going to be judged by it. That is where you can create more following. That's where you had your following before you even started your business, whether it's big or small.
Well, they both support each other.
They do. They complement each other very well. And I sat down with Ashley and I was like, Ash, like, you have to remember, like, I am not just the face of Visionary Meals. Like, you have hopes and dreams of being very heavy in this business. And we sat down and I was like, we both need to get better about our own personal content that we put out. I hate the freaking app TikTok, but it's a new app. It's exploding. It's huge. And it was an avenue that her and I both weren't, complimenting or diving into as far as putting content out. And I said, hey, I hate this idea, but we need to start diving into this realm. So shout out, we're going to be getting TikToks here and there. So definitely shoot us a follow on that here in the near future. But
my kids, they watch it nonstop and laugh at it.
Yeah. But it's just, her and I had this conversation. I was like, we need to be better in this area because her and I, we've entertained, and I don't know if and ever when, but I've entertained with her. I was like, it'd be fun if you and I did, her and I did our own podcast. And I was just like, if we did this, we need to create a foundation now, which we are doing with Visionary Meals, but with our own personal selves as well, so we can bring that following into the podcast.
It all does work together, and that's why I'm glad I'm not in that circle because I would hate that.
But
it all does work together. Think about this. If you're a business owner and you're listening to this is a conversation I think we've already had, but you should maybe have it again. If you are like, okay, I own ABC whatever company, and you can find me at abc.com or ABC on IG or whatever.
Yeah.
What do you think those people are going to do? They're going to look that up. They're going to find out who the owner is, and then they're going to creep every social media site that you have to learn more about you.
Correct.
They do that constantly.
Mm-hmm.
I was just watching a news thing the other day about modern dating, which I'm so happy that I'm happily married and don't have to worry about this. People are like, dude, I spend months researching people and following their social media sites before I agree to meet them.
Yeah.
What do you think people are doing with your business?
It's the same thing. Yeah.
If you're a young kid, what do you think these universities are doing if they're interested in you? Mm-hmm. They're literally creeping on you, watching your stuff without you even knowing it.
That's today's resume.
It's insane.
It's today's resume.
It's insane. Like, I didn't even think about it. I'm so happy I don't date because I would hate that.
Oh, right. Whenever we get an applicant for a position at Visionary Meals, guys, I hop on their social media.
Well, my sister-in-law,
what kind of person is this?
They own like 22 rentals. You send an application, first thing she does is go look up all social media sites to see what you post on there.
For sure.
you could have had a bad day and put on some bad stuff on Facebook. Oh,
Mhm.
you ain't getting this house because I can't have you in my place.
Treating my place like this.
Yeah.
It's fair. It's just that's the world we live in, guys. And any
It's crazy.
individual wants to that's old school and says, "Oh, you should never, profile someone like that just from electronic device." I'm telling you, you can learn a lot about.
Well,
someone
people
just
live on
from-
them, so that is their profile.
It is. It's lit. I will take someone's social media, Facebook or Instagram or both, over the resume that they give me, because I will learn more about you just from that.
Which is mind-boggling.
It's
And I think
scary.
for generations of people, that's like literally a gut punch to your future
It is. It is. Yeah.
because you're not thinking about that. I
No,
guarantee you're not
Kids are
thinking
not.
about that.
Kids are not. And some of these girls, the stuff that they put on there, I'm just like, man, I'll tell you what, if you are hiring, or if you're hiring for a position where a female is making that authority decision, and you're putting some of the stuff out there that I see girls putting out, I'm telling you, you're not getting the job.
Yeah.
A male, you might persuade him a little bit. He might get distracted by, unless he's strong in his foundation. But I'm telling you what, like some of these girls aren't thinking. And guys, it's on both
CEO
ends.
women who've worked their butts off to
Yeah.
get those positions, they're not going to let you come in there and ruin their reputation.
Heck no.
Yeah, you get some of these
It's
weak men.
interesting. Yeah,
These weak men.
it happens. It's hard. It's hard.
There's your disclaimer. There's
Yeah.
your disclaimer.
So
No, good.
Off the cuff,
hey,
bro.
no, seriously though, I want to tell people. I text Josh the other day. This is a true story. Text Josh the other day, and we even laughed about it earlier today. I was sitting at home, and for some reason, my mouth was watering because I was craving the zoodles.
yeah.
We honestly, this show is really we benefit so much from having Visionary Meals as a partner, having Josh as a partner, and just all the things that they stand for really helps bolsters the show. But it's not just the company itself. The food's delicious. And Josh was just telling me about the zoodles with the turkey meatballs, and then they do this gyro sauce that goes with it.
amazing.
Like literally, I'm mouth watering
It's
because
about
I haven't
lunchtime.
tried it yet, and I want it.
Right.
And if you're thinking about that and you want to make, once again, a lifestyle change, even if it's something like me who's like, I just want my lunches.
Yeah.
I want this healthy lunch style I can take wherever I go. And there's always microwaves everywhere. You can go to the gas station, get gas, run inside, use the microwave.
Yeah.
It can happen anywhere. Visionary Meals can do that. And we talked earlier, it's about timing. Visionary Meals jumped on this boat when the timing did not have a service like this
Right.
with the quality that it is.
Correct.
So we're very thankful to work with Visionary Meals. And I know business is booming
Yeah.
and things are constantly changing.
Yeah, business is definitely going great, Mark. I appreciate that little tidbit there. And weeks leading forward, guys, I'm going to shout out the Arnold Classic, as we just got news the other day that Visionary Meals is the official meal prep company for the Arnold Classic. So, which is
Millions.
a
people.
million people come through the Arnold Classic at any given time. So this is a huge deal for us. And I'll just be completely honest. And for our entrepreneurs out there, when Visionary Meals was birthed, one of my goals was to be a part of the Arnold Classic. But that goal was not in year 2. That goal was in year 5. So it just shows that all of our support is extremely overwhelming. We're very thankful for that. But this is going to be a big year for Visionary Meals. We are the official meal prep company. So if you happen to go to the Arnold Classic, come find us. We'll be in one of the concession stands. We just got word, and I'll put this number out there because it's exciting for us and something scary that we have to plan for. But a previous meal prep company that I'm not sure if they're even in business anymore, this was in 2017, when they were at the Arnold Classic, they had the concession stand and they sold about 6,000 meals. So
I
we're
would
be busy.
bet my mortgage that we'll be closer to 10.
That's our goal. That's what Ash said. She's
I'd
like,
bet my
"Let's-"
mortgage would be closer
She said,
to
"Screw
10.
6,000." She said, "Let's
Yeah.
do 10,000."
The B to his A is this is now why you know that he didn't see the sun at all last year.
Yeah,
that's how you
true.
do this in year 2.
Correct.
So, folks, it's part of the grind, and that's why you have. I mean, Josh and I think a lot of times we have a podcast because it's the one time of the week that it's already planned for. It's in the books, and we get to spend time together and just vent.
Love it.
And it's nice that we get to share these conversations with you guys. So it's been fun. It's been real.
Yeah.
Guys, you just got a little bit of what we do before we go on air, because these are conversations that we have all the time.
Literally, this is. Yeah, he walked in. I said, "No, let's shut up. Let's just."
Yeah, I
start
told him, I said,
recording."
don't talk to me.
Yeah,
Don't talk to me.
because this is exactly. We just had a conversation of what we do. Before
I
we
literally
shit.
walk into the house every Wednesday. Oliver the dog shows me a new toy, and I love on him a little bit because his
Yeah.
mommy's at work, and I know his dad ignores him.
Right.
And then literally we spend an hour and a half talking prep and talking, what's going on. So
Yeah.
today we just let you into a little window of that.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to do any off the cuff of Would You Rathers, but if not, we're going to save those. Unless you have any off the cuff right now, Mark.
Nothing clean.
Okay, nothing clean. Yeah, mine are all dirty too. Those need prep because they're dirty. So
that's once again, that's part of the censoring problem. We want to make sure that everybody can listen to the show and get enjoyment out of it.
I love it. Well, no, good stuff, guys. We appreciate you guys tuning in with us. As always, if you have not subscribed, shoot us that subscribe, guys. We would greatly appreciate it. Again, we're on all social media platforms. Shoot us a follow, shoot us a like, stay up to date with us. We got new things coming, guys. We've talked about doing some, bringing some guests on, and so those are in the works. We had some planned kind of before the Arnold, but it sounds like we're going to squeeze them in after just because times are very, very busy right now.
Yeah.
So exciting things coming, guys. We appreciate, again, everyone tuning in with us. You guys truly are the best listeners in the nation. If you guys need anything, don't hesitate to reach out to either one of us, deliberatelylinked@gmail.com or just deliberatelylinked on Twitter or Instagram. Check us out on all audio platform, guys. Again, shoot us that subscribe and have a great week. See you next time.